Tina, why on earth do we stay in Albufeira in the Algarve in Portugal? It has a bit of a bad rap, doesn't it?
It does. In fact, Norm, I think it is actually known as Party Central of the Algarve.
I think you're right, Tin.
But
so are we party animals?
Oh, we can be. We can be.
The thing about Albufeira, it really embodies the Jekyll and Hyde concept. So in summertime, yeah, it's party central, as Tina said. It's lots of stag parties, hen and does, whatever they call them these days. Soccer hooligans. And plane loads of people from Northern Europe intent on having a really good time, infused with alcohol. But in wintertime, Teen?
Oh, it's just a whole different place. It is absolutely beautiful in the wintertime. All the things Norm's just described aren't there. We don't see that. We see a whole different side of the place. And it's not busy, is it?
No, instead of it being a young person's town, it becomes an old person's town. And there's lots of Northern European and North Americans who are, let's say, 55, 60 plus, and they're coming there to get away from the dreary winter weather. So Albufeira, we chose that purposely because we wanted to travel within the Algarve. Mm-hmm. And geographically, it is in the middle of the Algarve. So there's no 2-hour trip to anywhere. You can get to wherever you want to go in about an hour and a half, hour and 3/4.
Absolute
east
tops.
or west.
Yeah. We found it a really very central place to be, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And we can travel on the N125 road, which is it's not a toll road, whereas the motorway that runs parallel with it is a toll road, which is quite expensive. There is one thing to be careful about Albufeira. If you're planning to use the train as your mode of transport during your winter vacation, Albufeira has a station, but it's not in Albufeira. And it's probably a 10-minute car ride away to the north. It's the only town that isn't on the rail line.
Which is kind of strange, isn't it?
It is.
But there's another huge plus, Norm, and that is they do at the train station the most delicious coffee, don't they?
Yeah, you'll find whenever there's a cafe, they're individually owned, and they really make good coffee and good service. So Albufeira train station is at a place called Ferrier. And as Tina said, it has a really nice little cafe in there. Gets very busy with the locals.
It does,
and,
which is a good sign, we find, isn't it?
Really is.
And also, if you didn't want to drive that day, you could actually, say, take the train to Faro, and literally you get off the train station in Faro is right there, and you could have a wonderful day in Faro and just go on the train to it, couldn't you?
It's a
right
5-minute walk from the station along to the town centre.
And sort of on the seafront, isn't it?
And you can do that all along the coast. And the trains run pretty frequently. So, yeah, Albufeira, we like it because there's lots of accommodation.
Yes.
Good support with supermarkets.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got great grocery stores. They've got Continental. They've got Pindodoci, and two that we really love is Aldi and Lidl.
I was going to say not Aldi.
And we really like those two because they have a very European sort of flair about them, and they get lots of different things, don't they? Quite unique. So when you're staying there, you can get
and they have
really
lots of bargains.
Yeah, they
basically.
do. Great deals.
And when they sell off food, it's really, really cheap. But they have a lot of non-food items as well.
Yeah.
We've been able to pick up a bottle of scotch at a fraction of the price that
Yeah.
they were selling off.
And they even have clothing too, don't they?
They do.
Things like that.
And there's
Which is
also a
great.
shopping mall in Albufeira, right in the Newtown area of it, just down from the town hall. And there's also a regional shopping centre that is probably a 15-minute, 20-minute car drive, where Cliff Richard's winery is behind it.
Oh yeah, that's a really nice place to go to too,
It is.
isn't it?
So
is
that has
great.
all the more upscale type of shopping
Yeah.
there, and that's the Algarve shopping centre.
And another thing too that we love there is not only the blue water, but the cliffs, and you can walk along the beaches. The beaches are wonderful. The scenery, isn't it? It's really nice to walk on.
It is, and you have to realise that half the restaurants are closed because
It is winter time, isn't it?
it's their time for a rest after the hectic summer.
Yeah.
But there's enough restaurants that are still open that makes life interesting. But we like Albufeira just from the location point of view and the services that it offers. And I wouldn't be at all afraid of staying there if you've heard that it's full of hooligans and what have you. It really isn't in winter.
No. And plus, one of the other big pluses is that it's literally 30 minutes from Faro Airport. So where a lot of the
Yeah.
planes fly in, it's really quick and easy to get to, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And once again, you can
Yeah.
take that N125
Yeah.
from the airport and not have to pay a toll fee for using the roads. And being in wintertime, that N125 isn't busy at all, whereas in summertime, it's bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Yeah, we've heard that people hardly move anywhere, do they, in the summer?
So we have travelled from Albufeira in our little rental car, and
Yeah.
we've been all the way to Sagres,
Yes.
and Land's End
Yeah.
at Cape St. Vincent, which is the tip of the Algarve. Next stop would be North America. And then we've driven all the way to Spain from
Yeah.
Albufeira. But to get to
We
the
have.
end of the Algarve, near Tavera,
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and really an hour and a half, hour and 3/4 length of trip from either end. Whereas if you're staying in Tavera or you're staying in Lagos,
Those
you're
are-
likely to have a 2.25 hour drive
Yeah.
to get to the furthest points.
Which makes it a lot longer to be in the car, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget, if you're going to stay in Albufeira and the Algarve, go inland. There's some wonderful places
yeah.
to go
To
see.
visit, yeah.
There's the medieval fort,
yeah.
the Moorish fort.
At Sylvie's, isn't there?
That's right.
Yeah.
And on the way there, if you're lucky and it's February, March time, you see all the almond blossom trees, which is just absolutely stunning, especially coming from Canada,
Yeah.
where at that time of year, everything's still dormant. So
Well,
we
it's
get
nice
to see blossoms
yeah, and things like that.
and all those orange trees as well.
They are stunning, aren't they?
But
And-
we have a story about the oranges because you can buy them by the sack,
oh,
by the side of the road for €2 to €5.
Yeah,
and
really cheap on-
They're fresh, they're beautiful. So we decided the first time we went there, we would juice them. So
Yes.
we went to Faro one time and we were in IKEA and bought one of the juicer
Juicers,
things that
yeah.
you put half an orange in. So we were juicing them every morning. After about a week, we wondered why we were living in the toilet.
the toilet. So we found out that it can do the reverse, although having nice fresh oranges is great. If you have the expression too much of a good thing, you'll end up in the bathroom
So-
an awful lot.
So if you need a laxative,
Yeah. So after that, we just didn't eat them quite as often, did
No,
we?
we didn't.
Which
But
was
that
really
was-
kind of funny.
it was. But another good roadside deal.
Absolutely.
So I hope that explains why we picked one of the most unpopular towns in the Algarve to go, because it morphs into being a very gentle, very laid back,
So
interesting,
different, isn't it?
interesting town to explore.
Yes. And we hope you've enjoyed listening to us, and we hope everybody is staying safe.
And keeping well.
Until the next time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.